While cinema is a visual medium, there's nothing more enjoyable than hearing a great monologue from one of our favorite stars. These monologues make us fixate on the screen as we get engrossed in the speech that the actor or actress is making. But what are the best ones of all time? In classic cinema or modern movies, from Gregory Peck to Christopher Walken, there are so many great actors who have delivered so many great monologues that we still can't get enough of today. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the best ones. So join Factsverse to learn about the best movie monologues of all time. Greed is good. Greed, for lack of a better word, is good are the exact words that Gordon Gecko states, but this has often been shortened to greed is good by fans of this great monologue. It's a short one, running just over 2 minutes. In this monologue, the character discusses how greed can save the economy, how it can save companies, and how it can save the failed corporation called the US of A. This monologue is a perfect summation of the greedy mentality that we saw arise in the 1980s and still plagues America today. While the character is a villain, Michael Douglas has stated that this is one of the characters whom fans love the most, and many feel that the Greed is Good monologue actually inspired a few people to pursue careers in the stock market. If you love Oliver Stone films, this is one of his masterpieces. He directed the film and wrote the screenplay, so the Greed is Good monologue must also be credited to him. This short monologue is likely to be studied by cinephiles, film historians, American history enthusiasts, and economists alike for a long time. Any given Sunday. When a sports team is feeling down, they need a good coach to motivate them. Sometimes a great pep talk for sports can also inspire you for anything else you want to achieve. And that's exactly what Al Pacino's speech in Any Given Sunday does. This is 4 minutes of brilliance. He starts off slowly and discusses how sometimes he struggles to even look at himself in the mirror. But he talks about how life is a struggle and one has to fight to gain an inch in order to succeed. He's pushing his team to fight for that extra 1 inch. Once again, this is an Oliver Stone gem of a film, and he co-wrote the screenplay with John Logan. As the speech progresses, the team gets more and more pumped, and the scene ends with them storming out of the locker room ready to play the game and win it. Just show this scene to a group of your closest friends and watch the expressions on their faces. Then you'll understand why it's one of the best movie monologues of all time. Inherit the Wind. A courtroom is the perfect place for an actor to give a great monologue, and maybe that's why so many actors love playing lawyers, dreaming of when they'll get to deliver one of the best movie monologues of all time. Spencer Tracy did precisely that in Inherit the Wind. In this riveting courtroom drama, he plays Colonel Drummond, who has to defend a teacher named Bertram Cates being punished for teaching evolution. Colonel Drummond has to take a conservative and religious town and convince them that Mr. Cates shouldn't be punished. Towards the end of the film, he gives a great monologue in which he discusses the importance of allowing people to think and question things, lest we go back to the barbarism of a previous era when dissenters were burned at the stake. The monologue is short, but it will resonate with you for a long time. It's arguably one of Spencer Tracy's best role, and the monologue shows how powerful rhetoric can be. The Gold Watch. Sometimes a monologue is so good it becomes one of the highlights of the film, even if the character reciting it is only seen once, such as the case of Captain Coons in Pulp Fiction, played by Christopher Walken. The film is a masterpiece and has so many great actors, and almost every sentence is memorable. Yet Christopher Walken's short monologue, where he discusses the significance of the gold watch, sticks out. It's the mark of a great actor and great writing by Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avary that this monologue is still remembered and perhaps recited by aspiring actors. The scene itself is shockingly simple. For most of the scene, we only see a close-up of Captain Coons, so we have no choice but to pay attention to the monologue. It's a masterclass in great acting and how being a master of language can draw an audience in, even when there's not a lot of action going on, in an otherwise action-packed film. Viola Davis in Fences. In recent times, we haven't seen as many great monologues, as so many films today have become fast-paced and focused more on special effects. But the film Fences, based on the play of the same name, is a masterclass in acting, and there's not a single bad performance. Denzel Washington's character in the film is imposing and fearsome, and the only character who can stand up to him is his wife, played by Viola Davis. In one scene, she stands up to him and criticizes him for his anger and how he pushes his resentment on their son. The scene is powerful, and it's almost 3 minutes of a non-stop monologue played by Davis, easily one of the best actresses of her generation. When it comes to contemporary cinema, we can't think of a better monologue than the one in Fences. Atticus Finch's final statement. Once again, the courtroom is a great venue for any actor to deliver a powerful monologue, and few are as powerful as Atticus Finch's final statement in To Kill a Mockingbird. Played by Gregory Peck, one can't imagine any other actor bringing the classic literary character to life. In this almost 8-minute monologue, Atticus Finch tries to convince the court that Tom Robinson is not guilty. He discusses how the reason for the hatred towards Tom Robinson is because of racial prejudice and nothing else. He discusses the horrors of racism so prevalent in their society, but he also contrasts this with discussing the power of the law in the courts, stating he isn't idealistic, but he knows their culture ultimately stands for justice. He shows sympathy for the victim, but he also shows sympathy for a man whose life is in danger because of a false accusation. If you want to hear a great monologue and learn the power of rhetoric, you'll find it in this scene. The damn truth, JFK. Of course, not all great courtroom monologues are based on fiction. Some of them reflect what was actually said. Lawyer Jim Garrison brought a case to suggest that the government was behind the murder of President Kennedy. This was depicted in the film JFK, in which Kevin Costner played Jim Garrison. One scene towards the end involves the character giving a monologue in the courtroom discussing the assassination and the importance of the truth and challenging the government. The powerful scene reminds us about what it means to be an American and how it can be important to sometimes challenge the government. Then I woke up. A more gentle monologue that still has power is the final scene in the film No Country for Old Men. In this scene, Tommy Lee Jones returns home and tells his wife about a dream he had. He ends the story of the dream by saying, "Then I woke up," and then the film promptly ends. The monologue is verbatim from the novel by Cormac McCarthy. It's a reflection on how things were and how things are now. It's a moving scene, but perhaps it's a monologue that's not as straightforward as the other ones in this video. It's one we expect will perplex audiences, and one will have to see it again and again to decipher its meaning. Unlike the other monologues in this video, this one is more layered, and you'll have to try to interpret it as you wish. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you have any favorite film monologues that we didn't include? Let us know in the comments section below.